Hi, I've got an unusual repair for you today. Not electronics, but a toilet. I'm going to show you how I fix the continuous running toilet. I've fixed it now, but it was actually continuously running, like it was just leaking subtly, so that every 5 minutes. Anyway, what we'll do is we'll just take the top off. This is a dual flush toilet that we stand in here in Australia. We have a half flush and a full flush. You can see the dual buttons there. So we've just got the two different level shafts there which push it down. Anyway, let me put that down. So what we've got here is our cistern valve, of course. This one is annoyingly inside here. Usually they're like on the outside and they go in by the side or something like that. This one's a little bit annoying, so I have to actually unscrew this to get at the valve here. And so we've got our float valve. It's nothing to do with the float valve. What the problem is, if you've got a continuously running toilet like that, it's the flush valve, which is at the very bottom of here. So I have to get the flush valve out, which is this whole mechanism in here. There's actually two clips, one on either side there, and you just squeeze them and you lift the whole thing out. And it's going to be a worn seal on the bottom of that. So what you do is we'll disconnect this, okay, and then we'll flush this sucker. There it goes. And you can probably see the WL mark in there. Oh, maybe not. But anyway, that's the waterline mark. So you want to switch her off first and then just get the spanner out, and I'll just unscrew. Can't do that with my fingers. I'll just unscrew that and we'll take this assembly out. So I'll just unscrew that. This is basically just to get it out of the way. So if you've got one that comes in from the side, you shouldn't have to do this, but you do want to turn it off. Otherwise, you're going to come a gutter and water's going to go everywhere. So now, as I said, there's, I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's a little side catch right down in there, so you get your fingers or your hand in there and squeeze both of those and it should come out. I'll see if I can do it. Here we go. Catch off one side there and the other side. It's a bit tricky holding the shoe phone, but I'll do the other side and there we go. There is our flush valve. Just drain that out, and there's our seal on the bottom, and there's your problem. Now you can get a couple of problems with this. One is that you can get like some sort of like scale build up on there or something like that. This one doesn't have that, but you'll see that it's kind of like, yeah, it's bubbled up, right? So that seal there, and this is where the water is leaking just around there. It's not forming a flush seal. I'm here all week. Get it? Flush seal? It's a flush valve. And yeah, so it's not forming a nice seal around there. If it was some sort of scaly build-up or something, you could actually just clean that seal there. But what I'm going to do is, because I don't have a replacement for this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that off, and you notice it just sits in there. And you can see that on one side is really dodgy, but on the other side, it's nice and smooth. So I'm going to reinstall that upside down so we get a second suck of the salve with this thing. And yeah, that will fix it by putting that in upside down, and we won't have that bulgy thing which doesn't form a nice seal against the bottom with the weight of the water pushing down. And yeah, that's where it was leaking. So upside down, we get a second use of this seal, and it means I don't have to go out and buy one. And if you want to know what brand toilet this is, it's a Parisi Nam. So I've installed that with the nice smooth side down to the bottom there. Just through age, it is like, it was bent down in the other direction, but now age will bend it back in this direction, and this will be a nice seal. So I don't have to buy a new one. So all you got to do is whack that back in there, and Bob's your uncle, and here we go. So yeah, you can see those clips. These are the two clips on the side. So that's what you get your finger on, and you don't have to get your hand down there. You can just put that back down there like that, and clip like that. And winner winner chicken dinner, that should be a good seal, and it's fixed. Reattach our cistern valve here, and I'll tighten that up and we'll turn it back on. So we'll turn that back on and it will fill up again. Should stop when we get to that black waterline marker. There it is, there. And now we're good to go. And there should be absolutely no, and we can see and hear, or lack of hearing, the water leaking out. So you can fix a leaking toilet very easily just by either cleaning, replacing, or in our case, we flipped over the flush valve on the bottom to get a nice new seal on the bottom. But yeah, so I guess in 10 years, when it wears out again, we might have to replace, well, we will have to replace that seal on the bottom. But there you go, win a chicken dinner. If you like that video, give it a big thumbs up. Catch you next time.